I'm not saying I'm gonna quit making videos or anything like that. I'm just saying I don't know what's gonna get viral. I don't know when it's gonna get viral. I just hope it's soon. This is so crazy. I can watch the sickest videos online. I can watch the scariest scary movies right before I go to sleep, too. And I'll go to sleep, not have a nightmare. Not have a nightmare. Not one. Last night I had a nightmare. Not because I watched a scary movie. Well, I guess they are scary movies to me now that I think about it. But not because I watched something weird and, sick. Because I watched a death camp documentary. I was watching it because it was like showing where the death camp once was and some of the survivors, and the survivor actually went to the place where the death camp was, and where the death camp about, I wish I could remember the name, Harshwa, something like that. It's like a whole town, like the middle of a Polish town, my bad, Polish town, and then they put a wall around it, and they said this is where we're going to keep most of the Jews. This is just going to be a full Jew town basically in this country, and around there's towns that had places with no Jews in them, and then places that had minimum Jews, like 1 to 50, or 1 to 13. So they thought that was a lot. That's crazy. But so I watched that before I went to sleep. I didn't mean to. I just got tired while I was watching it, and I watched a full documentary. So of course, it was up in here. So I went to sleep, and I woke up in a death camp in my dream. Man, and this was a modern death camp on top of it too, so it made it even more freaky. Now looking around, I seen 50 people in there with me. We were all the prisoners, and it was a COVID death camp. It was a COVID death camp. What is that? I don't know, but that's what I saw. And I remember there was like 5 people I knew there, but the rest I didn't really know. Like the rest were strangers. And then there's like these. It was basically, it looked like a death camp. That's what it looked like. There was houses on the side, and then we had tables in the middle of it where we could sit and eat lunch and stuff, or sit and chill. But it was just like wooden tables. That was it. There was no entertainment at all. There was a yard, but it was just a yard. It was just a fenced-in yard with not even grass, just dirt. It was crazy. Now, while I was sitting there, and I seen a girl that I knew, so I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna die in this camp, whatever this place is, whatever we're being locked up in, I'm gonna flirt with this girl. So that's what I did. I flirted with the girl, and it was like one of my friends I grew up with. So, but then I looked behind her, and I saw there's like a 3-year-old, or whenever a baby can crawl, I saw like a kid just crawling, a baby crawling behind the buildings they had for us to sleep in. And so this guy was walking around with a hazmat suit. I told him, there's a baby crawling on back there all alone. I didn't see no parents following it or nothing. Like, you should go check it out. And he just didn't answer me. He didn't even care. But when he looked at me, I saw he was nose bleeding, and it was like he was bleeding from his face. But there was like no cuts or nothing, so he was just bleeding. And then, so I'm still talking to the girl, but then I stopped flirting, and so because now I'm thinking, I'm like, wait a second. I'm starting to realize I'm in a death camp. I'm like, okay, these people don't care about our life. That's pretty obvious. But like, is it what it is, what I think it is? Maybe I'm overthinking it. So I kept talking with the girl, and then I hear this guy screaming. I looked over at that courtyard that was next to us, that empty courtyard, and there was a guy in there, shirtless. He had pants on, no shoes, no socks. And that guy in the hazmat suit that was bleeding, he was beating him with a baton, just constantly beating on him, beating on him. And when I was watching this, I realized that guy looks like me that he's beating on. That guy looks just like me, except without a beard. Maybe it's me when I'm shaved. Who knows? So I ran over there, and as soon as he went to go lean down to hit him with that baton again, I kicked him right in the forehead. When he was getting back up, I went for a second kick, and that second kick exploded his hazmat hat, and it just gushed blood everywhere, like he's been bleeding in the hazmat suit for hours. And then it got like everywhere, and I was just like, oh! And I turned around and I went running off in the crowd, and I was shaking and stuff because it was so much blood to see, just like it popping a zip. You know, even though I'm into gore, seeing that in my dream, and I was honestly feeling like that, like shaken up, very disgusted. The fact that I saw so much blood pour out of this hazmat suit. In fact, I don't know if it was the same guy. It might have been. It felt like it was just like a bloody hazmat suit thing. I don't know. Either way, I woke up right after that part when I rushed back into the crowd. I woke up thinking, dang, that is one crazy dream. That's probably the craziest dream I've ever had. It's probably gonna be one of the scariest. I don't know. No, I mean, there's this dream I had 5 nights in a row. I already told you guys about the one with the witch and the drowning, not being able to breathe through half the dream. That dream was pretty scary. In that dream, I actually was fighting for my life. It felt like, because I couldn't breathe through the end of the half. But this dream, I guess I had more of a fighting chance. You know, because I wasn't alone like I was in that last dream. Last scariest dream I had. And I know the scariest dream before that, like, I think it was probably even the first scariest dream I've ever had. That dream, man, that was a wild one too. I was in the back seat of our car, my parents' car, and I was like, how old was I? I think I was like 8. I don't know, somewhere around 8 years old. And I'm sitting in the back seat, and then it looks like my parents are sitting in the front seat. And it sounds like a Friday song, but it's not. Nothing close to it. I'm sitting in the back seat. My parents turn around, then they rip off their faces, turn into different people. You know, that's how the dream went. That's not a Friday song for sure. Yeah, stupid plane. But yeah. So what happened was, well, sorry about that. I had to let the plane pass. What were we saying? Oh yeah, about my first scariest dream. So what happened was, my parents that were driving and sitting in the passenger seat, they both turned around at the same time. They just turned their heads to look at me, and then they just rip off their face, like it was that movie where that person was able to take off their face and put it on with the killer's face, and he was a cop, and it was like, the killer's a cop, the cop's a killer, who's the witch, which, you know? But, so yeah, they look back and they're taking off this face, and I think they had face masks, like ski masks on, honestly. That, or they just looked so weird. They just like it was different people for sure. It wasn't aliens, it wasn't monsters, it was just different people, most likely in more masks. And then after they done that, my view, it was like ghost spectating it myself. Like I was seeing the top of the car hood, and then I went farther up, farther up, farther up, and then I kept seeing the car get smaller and smaller, and the land that we were driving on, it wasn't like, it was weird. It was weird because it was like a canyon. It was like dirt canyon, like dry sand with cracks in it, that kind. And then I saw the car keep on going, and the car was heading to, like, it was weird because like we were on one patch of land, and then the rest, it was like a canyon everywhere else around, big giant cracks, and this car was driving right to one of those cracks, like it was going to drive off the edge or something. And I had to watch this, and I'm watching it as soon as it gets. So yeah, I woke up right at that time, and yeah, those are the scariest dreams I had so far. So, sorry the camera keeps cutting out, but the camera's dying, it's getting old, so it's only able to record for 5 minutes or so, I guess. And, yeah, I just want to end off this video by saying peace out, thanks for watching, and stay awesome, everyone.